Good morning. I'm in a most amazing shop. Shop belongs to Jim Davis, who's a ex-aerospace engineer and has retired and bought a garage. The garage is an old dealership, and his speciality is Dytonas and Roadrunners. So we're going to start an interview with him and we'll have a walk around. So I'm at Vintage Metal Works, which is a shop just outside Commerce, and it belongs to Jim Davis. Now this is an amazing shop. Jim is a Daytona and Roadrunner specialist, and he's going to tell us about some of the projects that he's got on. So as we know, the Roadrunner derived from NASCAR racing, but Jim has done numerous improvements to the design of this basic car. So let's start at the end of the shop. We start with a Dodge Charger body, another Roadrunner, all the signage. So I'd just like to introduce you to Jim Davis, who is the owner of the shop, and Jim's going to take us round, and we're going to start with this car over here, which has been blasted. So what? Just tell us a bit about the car, and just, Jim, if you don't mind, you just point out some of the flaws. This is a Roadrunner, is it? Or
1970. It's a Plymouth Superbird. It's a real Superbird.
Right.
And this particular client is out of Reno, Nevada, and we've processed the car. We've dismantled the car. We've placed the car on a fixture, dismantled it, braced it up so it could be properly supported on a rotisserie, and it's been washed, it's been acid treated and blasted.
So as you can see, Jim takes the car down to absolute basic level to begin the restoration, and he has his own media blast chamber in his shop, and the beauty about that is he can control the quality of the blast process. He decides what's used, what's good, what's bad, etc. And this is in its blasted condition, has been in the fresh air for a number of weeks now.
Yes.
And you can just see the quality of the first stage. Well, the quality continues because
the client here this is for a client out of Columbus, Ohio. He contracted with us to build him a nose cone and to put his front end assembly together,
okay,
including the induction system, and we can take a look at the induction system.
Yes.
In here, we can look. You can see up through there. You see the fans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There we go. Look.
We built a shroud system for pusher fans because of the lack of distance with the blower drive on it. So we had some obstacles we had to work around and engineer ourselves around, and he wanted the nose cone closed off. And this particular car is they're going to use it for street racing.
Okay. Hence the blower.
That's right.
So that would mean the engine will run hotter anyway.
Absolutely, it needs to be able.
Yeah.
He had a major cooling problem.
Yeah.
So we resolved his cooling problem for it.
So will you be doing any chassis work on this car, or?
The chassis work? No, the chassis work was conducted up north. He brought the car to us for nose cone, and then I discovered he had a cooling problem and decided to take it upon myself just to resolve his cooling problem for him. Well,
the Roadrunners and the Daytonas, there's the Roadrunner symbol, the traditional symbol that was used to market these cars back in the day there. And we've probably now stood in front of the ultimate car that Jim has developed. He's been working with a specialist chassis manufacturer. Traditionally these cars are unibody, which means that they are made in the factory out of spot welded sheet metal primarily. And of course when you're producing a high performance vehicle, the addition of a chassis gives it the strength that's needed to take a large V8 engine and we can see if we walk around the back. Jim, just tell us a little bit about
The chassis underneath the car is an Art Morrison chassis. Anyone familiar with Art Morrison realizes their quality, what Morrison is about. They have been extremely gracious in helping me and answering all my questions. So it's this should be a spectacular car with a 800 horsepower power plant, 6-speed transmission. This particular car came out of Level Cross. It was the last B-body at the Petty compound, and we were fortunate enough to be able to name it Chief after Tim Petty's father, Maurice Petty, who is Richard Petty's brother, who died. Unfortunately, he died 2 years ago, but I have permission to paint the car Petty blue.
Wow.
And to name it Chief.
Oh, that's amazing. And you can see the way the chassis has been split to take the transmission, etc. And this is going to be, what was it, 800 brake horsepower?
800.
It's going to be this is going to be for the road?
Yes, it'll be
for the road.
Listen,
guys.
Air conditioned.
Air conditioned, 800 brake horsepower road runner for the road, with the handling to go with it, because with the adjustable suspension that comes with the detailed engineering on the chassis, it means the thing will go around corners extremely well, will hold the road. So that's just amazing, that one, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you, Russell.
The engineering in that, and I'm sure guys you'd appreciate that, but I would just, before we go, I'd just like to draw your attention to this 57 Chevy, which has got another Morrison chassis on it. We're in a position to be able to go underneath and have a look at it in more detail and look at the work. Just look at the work. Look how the exhaust goes through the chassis rails. Look around here, it's amazing. And then look, I particularly like how this particular rail splits in two, and then very, very cleverly the shock absorber mount goes on a rod that goes through that. That's really smart, that. And then as we go down the vehicle, obviously look at the exhaust, which is fully welded, and will have a capacity for going straight through as well as through the boxes. And then
on this particular car is a fuel injected big block Chevrolet 6-speed transmission. This will be an extremely well handling 57 Chevrolet. It's a beautiful car.
There we go. Well, thanks very much, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's amazing engineering. I hope, guys, you get a flavour for some of the workmanship that is available. But it's very rare that these guys, Jim is a very rare engineer that runs this shop. So if you want a Roadrunner or Daytona, if you find one in your barn and you want one to be refurbished to such a high standard, then come along to Vintage Metal Works, and I'm sure Jim will talk you through whatever the level of work is that you want to do. But that bird there, the 800 brake horsepower street car. Thank you.